Hey, what's up, everybody? BDL44 coming at you with another video. All right, so I want to react to the Bulls Game 4. Well, further react. If you saw my last two videos, you've seen me react. 119 to 95 is what the score ended up being there in Chicago. 24-point deficit, if my math was done correctly. They lost the previous game by 30. That was the all-time high playoff loss record of a differential for points. You get what I'm trying to say. The Bulls just kind of checked out after they went into the locker room at halftime. That's basically how I took it. Patrick Williams bounced back in a major way. You got to give him his credit. I had a double-double tonight. Got hot out there. So from him having an offer in the previous game to coming back here and bouncing back, I thought that was stellar. And he was one of the lone bright spots for this Chicago team. You got to skip over and talk about Giannis Antetokounmpo before you get into anything else. This dude is spectacular, putting up numbers that only he can put up, just continuing to dominate and force the issue. And the game plan tonight, it seemed to me Billy Donovan had it in his mind that he was going to crowd Giannis out and leave three-point shooters open. That was the game plan. And those three-point shooters burned them to no end, and they did not adjust out of that game plan at all. And that's really what it was. Players started getting frustrated, I think, and stopped playing hard. Me watching it made me very frustrated. It made me very unhappy to see. I'm not a Bulls fan. We talked about the AC factor. He did get hurt in this game. That was a big part of why their offense was so staggeringly bad down the stretch of that, after he went out, because they didn't have that facilitating presence to kind of balance things out. DeMar DeRozan played pretty well. He attempted more than 9 shots, was a good thing, but didn't get enough out of those guys ultimately defensively. Kobe White is a no-show in the series. We have to talk about how this kid is just not really fitting in with what they're doing. There's too many guards on this team right now. I'm sorry. It's only one basketball, and there's too many shooters. You need that cohesiveness that Caruso and Ball bring to the table. Too many my turn, your turn, my turn, your turn. Y'all do not play enough defense to run an offense that poor. So what I saw was just a lot of bad from everywhere, and no one stopping the bleeding. It reminded me of watching a Laker game, to be honest with you. The type of space that they were leaving Grayson Allen open. I mean, you would think after the man had shot them down in the previous game the exact same way, they would make the adjustment to at least put a little more defense on him. I know you have to pay attention to Giannis. He could certainly go for 100 on you, but at the same time, you got to understand that Giannis is a fantastic passer. So if you overplay him in the paint, give no focus or respect to the perimeter at all he's going to do is make the right pass. And so, a guy like Grayson Allen, he gets hot. You got to adjust out of that, man. You got to crowd him out. You got to put people out there on him. You got to just give up some things in the paint. Hey, look, if something isn't working, it's okay to abandon it. If you commit to something and you say, all right, tonight is a night we're just going to let Giannis eat. And then Giannis starts smashing and you guys start getting in trouble with that plan. Well, maybe it's time to start going into a different direction and entirely. It's okay to do that. I don't think the Bulls need to just be married to the let's crowd Giannis and overplay Giannis in the paint strategy. If you see clear as day that Grayson Allen is at this point 3-for-4 or 4-for-5, it's like, okay, it's not working. Let's try something else. Let's crowd out the perimeter and maybe give Giannis an opportunity to eat. And maybe that will stop these shooters from killing us with 3. Because 2 is more than 3? No, it is not. 3 is more than 2, and you're giving up 3s. So at the end of the day, you got to concede something. They chose the wrong poison, and it killed them. It killed them. They're down 3-1 now. I got into the rah-rah aspect of it in the first 2 reactionary videos, more or less. I say it's rah-rah, but really it's just having pride. You know what I mean? You just have to have pride about what it is that you're doing and who you are. And not force the issue. I thought Zach LaVine played really well. I thought he, more or less reacted to his forcing the issue on that play that I discussed, and continued to play well as the game continued. Unfortunately, he just didn't really have a lot of help. He was doing a great job of facilitating the basketball. After all, had a lot of assists on this game. So all in all, I think Zach LaVine showed up. You know what I mean? He was not allowing Bobby Portis to, you know, punk him, I guess you could say, at the end of that game. I don't know what had happened there. I don't know what the issue was, but Bobby Portis fouled him, hit him in the head pretty good. It wasn't a crazy, overly aggressive foul, but then he kept his arm around his shoulder in a way that you could clearly see Zach LaVine was not feeling. And Zach LaVine pushed him off of him, and I think that's the type of energy they should have been showing as soon as the series shifted back to Chicago. It shouldn't have taken something like that to get you fired up in that way. Grayson Allen hitting 1-3 should have been enough to get y'all fired up in that way, because he should have not been able to feel comfortable in that arena. And not only was he comfortable, but he was the star in both games. So that's a heart issue, you know what I mean? That's a pride issue. That's a wanted more issue. And it's not just about what you're doing out there X's and O's wise. Sometimes it's just about having pride about who you are as an athlete and not letting certain things be attached to your name. You know? And so I was overwhelmingly disappointed by the Chicago Bulls, to be honest with you. I'm not a Bulls fan, I say that, but I definitely am an AC fan, Alex Caruso, and I just don't think that he got the type of support that was visible for the fans to see from the Chicago Bulls as it pertains to making Grayson feel uncomfortable to whatever degree is right. You know what I mean? I ain't saying go out there and break his leg, but he should not have the game of his life 2 days in a row where y'all getting blown out. And the one thing that you're giving up is the shots to him. You letting him be the one that knocks you down? It's humiliating beyond words. Humiliating is what I would feel if I were Alex Caruso. And I would want out of there, because I can't go to war for a team that is not going to have my back. That's how I took it. I don't know if he feels that way. I'm not going to put anything on him. He may feel nothing like that. But for me, looking at it, I'm like, yo, y'all did not hold him down. He's bleeding out there. He's got his arm busted up trying to fight for Chicago. And y'all ain't even got the decency to guard the man that hurt him. That's crazy to me, y'all. I'm serious. I've seen a lot of things in sport, but the level of passiveness and just being okay with someone punking you and just being okay with someone violating you is something that this year's Bulls team showed me in this playoffs. I don't think I've seen too many times. I'm not going to lie to you. And I don't know if other pundits are going to take it that way. Maybe this is just my own perception, but this is catastrophic right here in terms of the type of collapse this is. And I get it. They're going to get up against the champs. They're outmatched. Giannis is a beast. But Grayson Allen is a nice role player. He is not what they're allowing him to look like. That is psychological. And they're being stepped on. And if I'm a Bulls fan, I'm feeling very, very, very bad about that. And I'm not going to put nothing on them. You know what I'm saying? Or blow nothing up. I'm not saying all of that. That's for them to feel what they feel. But this was a heart issue. Not just a strategic issue, because they definitely had a strategic issue out there, and Billy Donovan needs to answer for the horrible strategy. But that effort by those players and the pride by those guys was not playoff worthy. And as far as I could tell, they should not have been here. That's how I took it. See what they got from their bench. Not worthy of wearing the colors. Not worthy of wearing the colors. That's how I feel about it. So I'm going to leave it at that, man. Like I said, Pat Williams played well. Zach LaVine played well. There are some nice things there. It's not like I don't like the players. But that combination, they ain't got no heart. And they proved that. So that's all. I don't know. This 3-1 series. I expect Milwaukee to continue to march forward. I mean, look, even if the Bulls decide to develop some heart and come out there and play well, this series headed back to Milwaukee. And Giannis has a chance, the NBA champion has a chance to close it out. You can close it out. The end. There's certain people you don't play with in situations like this. He's definitely at the top of that list at this point. So I'll be very disappointed in him if he doesn't shut this Bulls team down. They should be cooked. After this, they should be cooked. There's a few guys on that team that are going to fight. So you're going to have to play hard if you're going to beat them in game 5. But to be honest with you, if you do what you're supposed to do, they've shown you that they have nothing. They're afraid of him. Look, I'm going to put it out. They're afraid of Grayson Allen. How about that? How about that? Let's just say it like that. They look to me like they was bullied by that dude. He had them by the throat, and they didn't want to get near him because they were afraid he was going to do the same thing to them that he did to AC. That's how I took it. That they were docile, they were scared, and they was cool with losing, so long as they didn't have to deal with him. That's how I took it. Take it for what it's worth. My name is BDL44. I thank y'all for watching. I'm out.